You ever had a client where you're trying to build them something because they asked for it, but they don't know what they really want, but you know what they want, but you can't show them what they want because you're not very good at SketchUp? So I just pulled this off the CNC. It cut nice, everything is nice and clean. Didn't really have to do any type of cleanup, but I did put this masking film on top so that when I paint it just with a paintbrush, everything is going to peel off nice and there's going to be nice crisp lines for the paint. I didn't really like the paint that much. There was a lot of brush strokes and wasn't too happy with it, so I went back to my original idea, which was truck bed liner to spray in there because I thought it would give it like a nice texture. Well, I don't like the way that that looks either right now, so I am going to fill it with black epoxy. And by fill it, I just mean like a little bit, just enough of a layer in there to cover the bottom. So I went ahead and sheathed the very ends of these. It's just 1/2 inch plywood, the exact same thing I'm cutting the hexagons out of. I'm about to put this on its back so then I can sheath the front of it so we can go ahead and start marking out where all the hexagons need to be laid out so that they look nice and straight. Well, not only when I was like halfway through cutting this board, I was like, oh, I'm cutting this wrong. I then ended up cutting it too short, which, I don't know, I think I'm just off this morning. More of an annoyance than anything else. Is certainly not going to affect the end product at all. Doesn't mean it's not annoying. I think that I have figured out that I'm going to be using these 3 right here. I feel like they're similar enough, but also very different, and I think that's where we're going to go for. So now I've just got to figure out how many of each of these I'm going to be staining what, and then getting on to the staining process. I'm going to go through and put a dab of glue on the back of each of these and then just use very, very tiny brad nails to punch into the sides of these to keep them in place. For the finish, I'm going to be using this polyurethane as an oil-based. I've used the water-based before and I didn't like how the finish turned out kind of like filmy and plasticky, so I'm really hoping this works better. I went and got some more epoxy because when I did the finish, a little bit got on the epoxy and I tried to wipe it off, but it left it a little bit like frosty and not like the bright, nice, glossy black epoxy that it once was. I'm releasing a brand new CNC project video every single day for the month of September. I'm calling it Make Timber, and it is a huge thing that I'm working on in the shop right now. I've got a lot of really cool projects in store, so if you like CNC projects, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Now, on to the final shots of this project. I just love how this thing turned out, and the client did too, which is always a really great thing.